Hiya, right, I've produced a short course to help cake makers to establish the how, when and why they need to register as self-employed with HMRC. I'm going to help with bookkeeping, what expenses you can claim, the filing of a tax return. I'm also going to go into business banking and a couple of other related topics as well. Most of the information that I'm going to do is available online through government websites, through a few other sources. But my aim here is to break down that government jargon and to explain it in cake maker terms. Specifically aimed at the majority of us who we are sole traders. We're not working in like a legally defined partnership. We're not a limited company. And most of us don't employ staff, so we don't need to worry about that. Although I will cover a little introduction into becoming an employer later, just to help you to decide whether it's for you. There's a lot more to it than just paying someone money. So, contrary to popular belief, you do not need to immediately register as self-employed the first time you get paid by a customer. The tax year runs from the 6th of April to the 5th of April the following year. If during that tax year your total turnover, that's just your total sales figure before deductions, is £1,000 or more, then you need to register. If you don't, police bobbies are coming for you and they're going to fine you, right? So you do need to get registered. So say if you sell 50 trays of brownies at £20 each, that's £1,000 in total sales. That's when you need to register. It doesn't matter if they've cost you £1,200 to make, you still need to put your tax return in and register that £200 loss. You need to register by the 5th of October. So for example, if you started your business after April 2020, you've now got a complete year of accounts up to 2021. You need to register by the 5th of October 2021, and then your tax return goes in by the 31st of January 2022. Right, if you know that you're gonna, if you're partway through your tax year, if you've only just started after April 21, if you already know that you're gonna be taking more than £1,000 in sales, you may as well just get registered now, because it just gives you, it's another thing off your to-do list done, and it helps you to get your head around it. It gives you plenty of time to work out what you need to do. So this £1,000, it's your total from all self-employed earnings. So if you've got more than one self-employed business, it's £1,000 in total self-employed earnings that you need to register. What you earn in any employed job that you might have is completely irrelevant to whether you need to register or not. You only need to register if you've made more than £1,000 full turnover in your self-employed businesses. So what you do need to bear in mind though is if you have a job where you're already paying tax, you're going to need to pay tax on all of your self-employed earnings. So don't get caught out by that. It can come as quite a shocker. If you're already above the tax threshold that you're paying tax every week in an employed job, all your cake earnings are going to be taxed. If you've already registered and you're not going to make the £1,000 turnover, don't worry about it. You still need to start submitting your tax return, and what will happen is in the first few questions, it'll generally come to a point where it'll say you don't need to file a return for this year. But until you do that, HMRC don't know that you haven't earned that £1,000. So if you just think, well, I haven't made that 1,000, so I don't need to do a return, all they're going to see is that you're late filing a return, and they'll get fined. They love throwing fines at you, they really do. So don't get yourself fined. You do need to begin submitting a return and then go through that process. So that in that way you've let them know that you haven't earned that much. So you're covered. When you register, I'll pop the link below this. When you register as self-employed, they'll send you a unique tax reference number, and then they'll send you an activation code to activate your online account. They'll write to you separately about your national insurance contributions and what you need to do about them. A few things to note: You won't need to register for VAT unless your turnover is over £70,000. There's not many of us doing that. It's way over £1,000 a week. There's not many of us doing that unless you've really established and into high end stuff. Also, you don't need to register with Companies House if you are just registered as a sole trader. So don't worry about that. Some people will try and tell you that you need to do that. You don't. It depends on your company structure and whether you're a limited company and what have you. Right, so I'll drop the link below to register as self-employed. If you get on the website and you find all their jargon a bit overwhelming and there's so many pages with so many different things, then you need this course. So I'll break it all down to you into manageable chunks. I'm doing it in videos and I'm going to provide it in written form as well. If you're like me and you don't, like, I don't take anything in watching a video, but if I'm reading something, I take it all in. There'll be some accounting downloadables as well, including the course to help you keep track of all your numbers. I'll go right into detail about your bookkeeping, your allowable expenses, how to calculate your working from home expenses, how to run, have a separate business bank account. I'll even do a tax return walkthrough to help you with filling it in once you're ready. So, right, the link is below. Get yourself registered as self-employed.